Hi and welcome to avtechnician.ca, your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. I'm your host, Paul Donovan. Welcome. If you like this channel, please don't forget to click subscribe. And if you like this video, click like. Comments are welcome below. Are you ready for another episode? Here we go. Today I want to introduce you a video recording software that is also a combination of a video streaming software. It's called OBS Studio, and it's a free software, which is the price that I really like when I'm using software. But being free in this case doesn't mean bad. It is actually a very extremely powerful program that can do a lot of things. In fact, I'm using it right now as I record this video. So let's take a moment and get to know OBS Studio. Now, when I work with this software, I'm going to show you a little bit about how to do an actual stream. Could be used just for a video record, or it could also be used for web streaming. So let's get started. So let's see what I've got going here. I've got a PowerPoint that is running. All right. I'm also using a camera, a webcam in this situation, but it could be a camera. So let's take a look at the equipment that I have available. So you can use a camera. You can use a video capture card. You'll need some form of an audio input. Then you'll need PowerPoint or so on like that. So let's take a look. See, I've got PowerPoint going here. So video capture can become even something as simple as a built-in camera, which is built into your computer. It can be a webcam, such as a Logitech webcam, such as this one, which I'm not currently using, but it is perfectly acceptable. And also, if you want, you can also try and use a camcorder. That would be such as the one that I've often used, is the Canon XA35. And in another video, I'll tell you why I like this camera. Then you need some form of a video capture card. In this case, I'm showing you about the Epiphone SDI and/or HD capture cards. They're a little pricey, but they're nice. Or you could also use Blackmagic's mini recorder, which is also a fairly nice product. And then there's various other types of video cards that can be used along. The webcam, of course, doesn't need a capture card. Then, of course, you need some form of input from audio. Now, you can use it by just using a simple microphone, such as what I'm using. Beep, 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 beep. And various means of getting the sound into you. Boy, that was probably noisy, wasn't it? But I also, when I'm out in public doing an event, one of the mixer boards I like to use is the Behringer, what does that say? Behringer SX2442FX Eurodesk mixer. It's a 24-channel mixer. It has built-in 10-channel EQ, sweeps for low, mids, and highs. Has 2 auxiliary sends, 4 subgroups, and so many things. We've gotten used to it because we sort of like it. And one of these days I'll do a review of this mixer. So that's your audio mix. You're also going to need some form of a program software, the most popular being, of course, PowerPoint, which I'm currently using. And then also, if you're on a Mac, you can use Keynote. Anything that you can bring in, but in this case, we're running the software locally. And that's a key element of what I want to bring forward to you, is the fact that I'm actually running PowerPoint on the same computer that I'm running OBS. Okay? Alright, so OBS is available at www.obsproject.com. It's a free download and it's a free program. You do not have to pay them. They do not have any pop-ups that pop up reminding you to thank them or like them or feedback on them, or no donation bugs, at least not at this point. But of course, like always with free software, if you want to reward the developers, feel free. They're always looking for a little bit of money to help cover some of the costs of even just serving the file out on the server. Okay. So when you get into PowerPoint, into OBS, it'll open up like this, and we're going to explore this entire interface. But one of the first things I'd like to do just before we get started is, because I want to show you the power of what this program can do, I'm actually running PowerPoint, which is the slides that you see showing right here. PowerPoint is right there. That's PowerPoint. Right? is showing a picture of OBS Studio, but it's PowerPoint. And I want to show you a little trick where you can run PowerPoint on the same computer that you're doing this whole thing with. And the little trick is that when PowerPoint opens up, you want to go to PowerPoint and go to Slideshow and Slideshow Setup. And in there you'll see this window. And let me show you what this window looks like. I'll give you a full screen view of it. And this is the window, and you'll notice here that in this corner here it says Browse by an individual and bracket window. This is one where it allows you to open the window in PowerPoint and lets you run the PowerPoint independently without the usual takeover interface that you do when you do a normal PowerPoint in the world of projectors and presentations and conferences. This is more of creating a window. So once you've chosen that, you may want to make sure that you're either on manually, or if your slideshow doesn't have timings, it really doesn't matter. And then click OK, and you'll take yourself into the window where you'll end up having PowerPoint. And then, of course, you start the show, and then what you want to do is you want to size the PowerPoint window to a point where you get it to a size that you can have on your screen. Right now I've actually got 3 windows on my screen right now. I've got the OBS software, which is the one that is doing all of the stuff, everything you see on this screen. Ooh boy, my finger runs out. And also the PowerPoint is running on this computer. And the tricky thing of what I'm going to show you soon is I'm actually running two editions of not 2 editions, but 2 copies of the same program of OBS at the same time. So then you get this thing open. Now the key trick is when you do open PowerPoint and size it correctly, don't change the size once you've established your setup in OBS. You can move the window around. Like right now, I'm sliding the window all over the place, and it's not affecting what you're seeing right there. But if I was to change the size of this window, let's see what happens. You see how that affects, right? That affects the size. And so you don't want to be changing the size because it affects how the window is captured. So there's a little tip for you, okay? So let's get on with OBS, okay? All right. So let's transform ourselves to the OBS screen. So transition, there is the OBS screen. Now, this is what it looks like to me right now in my world of what I'm doing. But I'll let you in on a secret. This is not actually the program that I'm actually using. All right? Notice that if I hit the transition here, right? Is that changing my transition live? No. Yes, it is. Changing my transition live. But it's not changing. Huh? Is it changing my transition here? No, it's just changing my little screen. Yeah, see? I'm confused already. But what I'm actually doing, just to help you understand, is I'm actually running OBS in a 2 environment. That means that 2 windows are actually operating here. Okay? One is the window where I'm actually running a full screen view of the OBS of a second instance. And that one is there because I'm going to show you in a moment a little bit about how to set up this window so that you can create your own recording design. Okay? So that the second instance is the one I'm actually using, which is what I'm actually showing you, or I can transition. This is the actual interface I'm using. So it's actually 2 different editions of OBS running. All right. Now that I've dawdled on and doodled on and confused you so much, and we're already 10 minutes into this video, my goodness. All right, let's get busy. So on this second instance, I noticed that the program has its menu bar across the top. It has a preview, and it has program window. This is what is referred to as studio mode. I can turn this off, and then I'm into just a single window where I don't need to have the studio mode. But the studio mode is handy because it gives you this transition button in the center and lets you choose various different kinds of transitions. In this case, cut, fade, and a stinger. I don't have stinger set up, so let's take it out of there. Okay. So what we're going to do, also you want to take a note, is that we have the word profile. You can create a new profile to start a new edition of what you're doing. You can start a new scene collection, which is this scene collection here. And then within every scene has its own collection of sources, which you can see here. The mixer is in the middle, which is all audio based. These are your transitions, currently set on fade, right? And then these are the ones: start streaming, start recording, studio mode settings, and exit out of the program. By the way, one of the nice things about this program is the fact that this program allows you to, it'll save everything you do instantly, so you don't have to always remember to save your settings. And every time the program starts up, it goes back to whatever the most recent setup that you had. There is ways to save everything, save all your profile settings and your scene settings so that you can have those things showing up as you want. Okay, are you with me so far? All right, moving right along. Let's start fresh. Okay, so here's the screen. Right now you see on the left hand side here I have scenes. And you can see me somewheres in this mix. You're seeing a full screen of me. There you go, you see a full screen of me. So that's the PIP, as I call it, picture in picture. This one I set up as a full screen. This is the login, the credit, and the closing credit. This is the PowerPoint slides full screen, and this is the OBS screen full screen. You'll notice that this is the preview window on the left, and this is the live program window on the right. And I can hit the transition button to transition between the two of them. Okay? So what I want to do now is I actually want to start a brand new profile. So I'm going to click on Profile, click New, and I'm going to call it Demo. You can call it anything you like, but I'm going to call it Demo. So there's a brand new profile, and you see it's active. The demo profile is there. All right. And what I'm going to do now in the scenes is I'm going to start up a whole new scene set. Demo scenes. I do know how to type. There we go. Demo scenes. Notice now that this is all blank. You notice that the scenes are here and the sources are all blank. Everything is blank because I'm working in a new profile. If I hit back into the basic and I go back to the screen capture that I had before, everything comes back just like that, see? But I want to go to the demo profile and I want to do the demo scene so I can show you how to do it. Okay, so one of the first things you want to remember to do is to also make sure you set up an audio. You don't know how many times I've done this where I forgot to set up an audio when I set up a scene. So this scene, it's been called scene because by default, but if you want, you can right click and choose to rename it, and let's call it camera, full screen. Okay, so we're going to call that camera. What we're going to do is create a camera feed. Alright, so this case here, because I'm using my webcam, I'm going to hit the plus mark and I'm going to do video capture. I'm going to call it webcam. Now, in order for me to make this thing work, I actually have to be using a software called ManyCam, and I'm using the free edition of it. Therefore, because I'm using the free edition, I have the watermark on there. And now you can see behind me what my real studio looks like. Wow! Okay, so now you see I've got the ManyCam. Now you're saying to yourself, wow, I didn't know you had green behind you. I thought you had the fancy wood panel. So let me find my wood panel so that you can see my wood panel. So now I'm going to grab an image, all right, and I'm going to call it background. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to browse somewheres on this computer, somewheres I have on my desktop. Boy, oh boy, don't read my complicated stuff. The OBS Studios and blurred background. There we go. That's my background, and of course I have it behind me, and the webcam should be on top. So I slide it up. There's my webcam. Now you say, hang on, you still got the green in the wall. Okay, so we're going to right click on this. We're going to choose filters. We're going to hit plus. We're going to hit chroma key. We're going to call it chroma key. It's green. Immediately you see the camera has turned gray, and if I was to bring this back on play, you can now see the background. So now you say, well, I still see the wall and I still see the door. Well, I'm going to grab the Alt key. So right here on this handle on the left side, I'm going to press and hold the Alt key, and I'm, okay, misbehave, see if I care. See, I'm going to hit the Alt key, and I can bring this over like that. Same thing, hit the Alt key, and I can bring the right side in. Then I can do whatever I want to make the size right. I can blow it up, and there is my lovely talking face, all nice and big. Or I can center it up, which doesn't match up with the background, because remember I made the background based upon my head being here, but I could do this. And there you see, now I have myself set up with a full camera shot. And then I can transition that live, and there you see the full camera shot. Now it's got a little bit of a line issue, a thing here, because what's happening is the chroma key has got a margin to it, because I haven't fine-tuned the chroma key. I could do that for you. So now I want to do a full screen, so I'm going to create a new scene. I'm going to do PowerPoint full screen. Okay, this time, now I just said to you, I forgot, I want to put my audio source in, so I need to put my audio input. Okay, in this case my audio input is coming off of my USB connector, so there I have audio coming in, and that should be producing audio, but I don't see any blinking happening yet, but that's okay, it'll probably work eventually. Alright, so here I need to, before I forget, I'm going to bring my audio input, but this time I'm not going to create a new one. I'm going to work with the existing audio input setting. That way I only have to make this change once between all the different ones. This time I'm going to do the full screen PowerPoint. So this time I'm do a window capture. Alright, so I'm going to call it PowerPoint. And this time I'm going to look and find that the PowerPoint that is running, there it is. And I'm looking at this and saying, well, that looks pretty good. Alright, but it's got a little bit off the bottom. So one of the first things I do is I want to right click on it, transform, and I want it to stretch to fill the screen. One of the things that does is it stretches it, but I also want to trim the bottom of it. So I'm going to point at the bottom circle, assuming you are actually seeing this. Yes, you are. Okay, hold the Alt key down. I trim upwards, and you notice because I told it to stretch, when I trimmed it, it stretched it. It continued to follow the command of stretching it. So now, here you go. I have myself a full screen PowerPoint. abtechnician.ca. Pretty amazing, isn't it? Okay, why did my... the recording over here is still going. Good. I've got to be careful about which one I'm playing with, because I'm actually playing on a video. Okay, so therefore I now have it set up. Now I could take the two things together, and I could create another scene if I want to, or I could just take this one, I could right click, and I could duplicate it. You notice I have the ability to duplicate a scene, and this one I'm going to do PIP, the picture-in-picture setup. So this time I'm going to go in, I'm going to take the webcam, and this time I'm going to push my head over to the side. I'm going to grab off the Windows capture. In this case I'm going to grab the existing PowerPoint setup, which already shows up there. Alright, and I'm going to Alt and take off that little excess off the bottom. So there you see it's floating in the top. Now I also have an overlay that I like to do on top of a full screen video, which I didn't do in the camera setup, but I can do it here. So I take an image, and this is my lower third. That's hopefully I can find it without having to browse through tons of places. Okay, this is where it's supposed to be, and my hard drive has to spin up because it is a external hard drive. It likes to go to sleep. Hey, da, da, la, 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 la. Isn't it great how you can sit here and waste time? Okay, no, that's not the image I wanted. I wanted the new lower third 2019. There you go. And now you see it's there, but I'm just on the safe side. I'm going to say transform, stretch to screen, and it fits the screen perfectly. Now, when you put things together like this and you put them in places you don't want them to move, you can hit the little lock, and that means that this can't accidentally move. Same with the PowerPoint. If I've got it where I want, I'll lock it down, and once everything's in place, I lock it down. Therefore, I can't accidentally move stuff. So the only thing that's unlocked right now is the webcam, so I can still move my head around. And there you see, I've got myself a layout that looks like just what I have right now that you're viewing for watching. So all of this is great. This allows you to transition. You put in the left screen, you hit full cam, and then you do this, full camera. Oh, why don't I put my full camera? Why don't I design my full camera, and I'll put in my lower third. Alright, image, going to take the background that I already chose, and it's not there. Why is it not there? That says background, but that's not what I wanted. Because I don't want background. That's the wrong image. Cancel that one out. Delete that. Remove it. I actually wanted to capture the image, which is the lower third one. I chose that wrong. There you go. See? Lower third. I don't have to go through and well, I guess I could probably go through and tell it to transform it to stretch the screen, but it shouldn't have to because it's already done before. And of course, I'm looking at my webcam and I'm realizing my head's a little bit off, cut off. I'd like to see a little more of my head, so maybe I'll just shrink my head down and move my head up a little bit so there's a little more, except I don't want to see that many cam thing, so I'm gonna, there we go. See? And if I really wanted to see close-ups of my head, I could do it. Okay. Well, you'll notice that even though this is the live scene, all these preparations have to be transitioned into the live scene, and there you see, it's now live. Okay, and now before I finish up the video, because I do have so much more I want to show you, so I know that I'm going to have to make another video. But before I continue on, I'm going to show you over the right-hand side, you see we have where it says Start Recording and Start Streaming. If you have configured this to do live streaming, you need to set up the streaming settings under Settings. If you're going to do record, you might want to do your settings. I'll quickly look at this, but you're not seeing this window, are you? No, you're not seeing this window in this live stream. So I can't show you this one. So when I make a new video, I'm going to show you that image so that you can see what it looks like. All right. So coming back here to my window, to the full screen, I've gone now into well over 20 minutes worth of video recording. I've told you only list the slightest, tiniest bit about OBS software, but this is a program that I'd like to recommend to you, and I will be making more videos related to OBS and other types of video recording and streaming activity in our future videos. You've just watched another episode of avtechnician.ca, your channel for tips and tricks for AV technicians. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, click like and subscribe to the channel so that you can follow all of our videos. Check out our website www.avtechnician.ca for more tips and tricks for AV technicians. I'm your host, Paul Donovan. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.